How was your? All right. With that being said, we're back like I never left. Tuning in. Happy Thanksgiving one more time. It is your sis. Welcome back to the live show. Yes, yes. Y'all. The title of my stream tonight. It is currently 11:20 p.m. and today is the 28th of November 2024. Of course, Thanksgiving Day, and the title is America is thankful for the 47th. America is thankful for the 47th, guys. America is thankful for the 47th. Tell me what you're most thankful about or most thankful for. I am thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my life. I'm thankful for shelter. I'm thankful that I am in the greatest country in the world. I am thankful for the fact that I am able to do this, converse with you guys, and learn a lot just doing this. I am thankful for health. Okay, I am thankful for health, for food. You know, I'm thankful, man. I'm thankful because sometimes we take our health for granted. We take our health for granted, and we're not supposed to do that because I was in the hospital today around say 6, 7 p.m. and I was with my family member. No, actually around 3:30, 4 p.m. I was with my family member. I was with my family member until like 8 p.m. And she's celebrating her her Thanksgiving in the hospital. So do not take do not take your health for granted. Do not take your health for granted. Don't do it. All right, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are up for the show. All right, so majority of Americans supports Trump's agenda. Are you part of the majority that supports Trump agenda? Let me know in the chat if you support Trump agenda, to deport, which is deportation for sure, because he's been talking about that during his rallies and campaigns. Are you part of the majority that supports Trump agenda? Listen.
Inauguration Day is just under 2 months away, and President-elect Trump is looking to make good on his campaign promises of putting America first and bringing the country together.
I will govern by a simple motto: promises made, promises kept. We're going to keep our promises. Nothing will stop me from keeping my word to you, the people. We will make America safe, strong, prosperous, powerful, and free again. And I'm asking every citizen all across our land to join me in this noble and righteous endeavor. That's what it is. It's time to put the divisions of the past 4 years behind us. It's time to unite. And we're going to try. We have to try. Success is going to bring us together, and we are going to start by all putting America first. We have to put our country first for at least a period of time. We have to fix it. Because together we can truly make America great again for all Americans. So I want to just tell you what a great honor this is. I want to thank you. I will not let you down. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than it has ever been before.
Well, Trump is already vowing to get to work on day one. He's looking to crack down on illegal immigration, kickstart American energy, and reestablish our global standing. And a new poll shows that a majority of Americans support Trump's vision for our country. Pew Research found that 53% of Americans approve of President Trump's plans and policies ahead of his second term. And Kennedy, that's why he was voted into office overwhelmingly by a majority of Americans who believe in his plans and his policies.
So what was really interesting to me was that the Democrats never acknowledged that he had already been president and that people had vastly different personal economic landscapes during his first term. I mean, think about that, because so often when you're running against someone, they've never been president. They're totally untested in that role. But he had been. He knew what the job entailed. That's such an incredibly rare thing. You know, we've had a lot of first-term presidents, one-term presidents, rather. But, you know, you didn't see Jimmy Carter go back at it in 1984. And for good reason, because, you know, he had his vision. It kind of failed. The country wasn't in a better place. And no one had an appetite for that the next time around. But the country has been on the wrong track. Three-quarters of the country have said that repeatedly, and, you know, Democrats couldn't see that. So, yeah, give him a chance. Give him a chance to give Americans what they voted for. And, you know, maybe they're not going to be Republicans forever, but we can all be Americans right now.
That's right. And David, to Kennedy's point, so many interviews, exit and during the candidacy showed people of all racial makeups and religious backgrounds, geographical dwellings that said, my life was better under President Trump. Right. It was an incumbency that worked.
And again, picking up on Kennedy, we're all going to be picking up on Kennedy's point here because it's such a good one. He was in the belly of the beast. Yes. And not only was he in the belly of the beast in the first term, but then he had another term where he had to sit back and watch lawfare and all of the attacks on him, all of the stuff that came up that wasn't true, that Americans saw wasn't true, which is why a lot of Americans who didn't vote for him the first time did the second time. But what he wants to do, and I'm old enough to remember Ronald Reagan coming in 1980, he wanted to really shake up government. Government was the problem, not the solution. That was Reagan's great line. Trump knows that as well, personally now, very personally, because of what happened that first time. So bottom line is he's hired a cabinet of folks who are in the shaking up business. These are people who have reworked companies, who have tried, as some people that have been working with us at Fox to do, to really try to shake up the bureaucracies that they're now going to try to change. So in order to shake up the government and make it work, and you got Elon and Vivek on the top trying to figure out what can be cut and what can't, what is necessary and what is not, separating the wheat from the chaff, they're going to do that. I have a great hope that they will succeed.
Right. And in dismantling, especially, Cheryl, those odious regulations we've talked about. I have a family business, a small business that's in the agricultural and the alcohol sectors. Nothing is more regulated than those. And the stymieing is so real. The amount of money that we have to hemorrhage in tithing to the government. But hopefully moving forward under this administration, it will be the dismantling of these regulations and the fostering of.
And this is the most important thing. We may not all be Republicans or Democrats. However, we are all Americans. So this is the time to support the 7th president-elect. And of course, America is thankful for the 47th. 100%. America is thankful for the 47th. So let's come together and support this guy, because there's no way he's going to do what he's supposed to do if people are going against him. It's just not going to work.
Entrepreneurial and capitalist spirit.
And one of the agencies that is full of so much red tape and unnecessary regulation is the EPA. And if they can get in there and they can actually change the culture and not dismantle the EPA, but at least cut down the power of the EPA, that's going to help small businesses. That's going to help the real estate sector. That is going to help builders. I mean, there's so many onerous, ridiculous regulations on the books of the EPA. The other would be the EV mandate, because they want to undo that. Look, people are buying electric vehicles. By the way, you're the one outnumbered today. We've got all the business people here with Emily, so I think that's kind of fun. But to say that, but I mean, that's the thing. I mean, if you go down there and you look at all of the bureaucracy, in particular with those EV mandates, people are buying those cars. Get rid of it. We're those subsidies. The government's paying out those subsidies. It's such a waste of money. And this couch today on Thanksgiving is all about not wasting money. We're about saving money and about growing our economy and our country. And I think that's what's happening.
That's what I say. Don't waste my taxpayer dollars. And just to echo what Kennedy was saying, we're all Americans now. It's Thanksgiving. It's time to come together. How surprising is what happened? This poll that we just looked at. Hello, not at all. Trump won big time. So what he's talking about is what he talked about on the campaign trail. And the only thing surprising about those numbers is that his polling on economics, on how he'll run the economy, is even higher than it was when he campaigned. So his polling is doing even better. So that's what's the interesting thing when you see progressives protesting what he wants. I don't understand it. You know you're going up against the American people.
Yeah, can I ask you, how soon do you think we're going to see results? How soon will Americans feel that relief that is sort of waiting in the wings?
I think it's already happening because don't forget, CEOs come to work every day. They sit down at their big boy chair and they make decisions that affect how many Americans are employed, how much money their company is going to be spending. And they're making it on the basis of the policies that are coming in, that they know are coming in because they've seen Trump before.
But it's going to be a pitched battle. The bureaucrats are not going to let go easily. There are a lot of them that are going to be shown the door. They're not going to let go easily. They know what's coming.
Bureaucrats won't rule tax policy, right? That's something that Congress.
But I'm thinking of the Pentagon, HHS.
Don't forget the Supreme Court ruling about Chevron deference as well.
Yes.
Yeah, they have the law behind them, no doubt.
They did for a long time, and to Cheryl's point, the EPA, they could make those regulations by fiat with no recourse and no accountability, and that has all changed. So it will be. We are in uncharted territory.
We had over a thousand new regulations under Biden and Harris that has cost us billions of dollars to our economy.
Probably true.
Talk to
Those
me
can
about
be changed.
if the fuel impact, if President Trump restores, if the fuel, wouldn't that change everything? Shipping and everything, our entire economy, would you say that's the single most effective, immediate change that he could make?
Keystone. That's one word, Keystone.
I mean.
And the Pentagon.
Huge.
I'm looking for big changes at the Pentagon. That is such an ossified bureaucracy. It's got to change.
Tax policy. I'm all about the tax.
They spoke about the EPA, which is the Environmental Protection Agencies. Of course, now the Department of Government Efficiency, which is DOGE, being led by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. Both of them are also going to have some sort of input and opinions on the EPA. So one thing is for sure, we're going to see a lot of changes. And this whole thing is just to say Trump vowed to begin on immigration and energy on day one. He spoke about immigration, he spoke about energy, he spoke about slashing electricity bills by 50% in the first year. Remember that? Don't forget, that's what these are the things he campaigned on. So if everybody, this man holds himself accountable for what he says, and he prides himself in being a man of his words. So one thing I know for sure is if he gets all the support he needs, which there's no reason he should not get all the supports he needs. I don't really care about what the media says about him at this point. I just, the Republicans in the Senate and the House should support him, and he has to do what he has to do because there's no way he should not get everything he needs to do done. All right, now I want us to throw it back to when Trump was calling the military personnel on Thanksgiving Day. This was probably back in 2017. It's gonna load. For some reason, my computer, I need to fix this like I did the last time. This is sad, bro. Why is it loading for too long?
Much, and I say to our great warriors, hello and happy Thanksgiving. We're celebrating Thanksgiving over in the United States, as you know, and you're celebrating it wherever you are in all parts of the world, and we'll be talking to you individually. We're honored to be joined on today's call by great patriots. You are really great patriots representing each branch of the American Armed Services. Melania and I want to express our profound gratitude for the extraordinary sacrifices you make to defend our nation while you're away from your families and loved ones. I hope that you'll take solace in knowing that all of the American families that you hold so close to your heart, we're all doing well. The nation's doing well, economically better than anybody in the world. We're the hot nation of the world, and it's nice to know you're fighting and You're fighting for something that's doing well, and that's our country. I want to begin by welcoming Colonel Stephanie Barton and the men and women of the 101st Airborne Division. These are real warriors, and you have the Resolute Support Sustainment Brigade, and they are joining us from Bagram Airfield in Afghanistan, where our soldiers are providing invaluable aid and combined joint area operations throughout Afghanistan. You are doing an incredible job. A lot of progress has been made, and your courage truly inspires us all. We know what you're doing, and we watch it. Oftentimes, we're watching it every night during the news, and we know it's dangerous, and we also know that you've had an unbelievable impact. Joining us from Al Jabar Air Base in Kuwait is the Central Command Response and Crisis Response Special Purpose Marine Air Ground Task Force. Lieutenant Colonel Sam Howie, you are really great Marines, and you're the embodiment of honor and courage and commitment. It's incredible the job you're doing. I particularly want to congratulate you on the work you've done to crush ISIS from the air and from the ground. And really, big progress has been made. They're very close to being gone, and we like it that way. But you have shown incredible courage, and I have to say you've shown great leadership. So thank you very much, and Lieutenant Colonel, thank you very much, and we'll be talking to you in a little while. Happy Thanksgiving as well to Captain Pat Hannafin and all of the sailors aboard the USS Ronald Reagan. Great ship. Your ship's motto is one that we embrace every day: peace through strength. That's what the motto is, and we have that motto at home. Everywhere the 7th Fleet sails, the USS Ronald Reagan is an enduring symbol of American might, American strength, American power, and really American goodness in so many ways. From the United States Air Force, we're joined by the 455th Air Expeditionary Wing, which is supporting Operation Freedom's Sentinel and NATO's Resolute Support. Brigadier General David Lyons, thank you very much, David, is the commander. And I want to congratulate you on every minute of the 455th for your outstanding work. Not only have you destroyed hundreds of ISIS, and actually far more than hundreds, and many Taliban targets, but you protect coalition ground forces throughout the region, and you protect them like nobody else. It's incredible the job you do, and I just want to thank you all for being on. And I have to say, General, it's great to speak to you by teleconference and by phone, because your reputation is an incredible one. Representing the U.S. Coast Guard, our crew members from 6 Coast Guard cutters from
This is the commander
the shore support
right?
teams that are part of Patrol Forces Southwest Asia, which is the largest Coast Guard unit outside of the United States. And I'm actually going right now. I'm in Palm Beach, Florida, and I'm going over to your local Coast Guard station, and we're going to spend some great time with the men and women of the Coast Guard. They have, from a lot of standpoints, you could call it branding, you could call it whatever you want. The job they've done on hurricanes in this country, they've saved thousands and thousands of people. In fact, in Texas, they saved over 12,000 people. If you think of what that means, over 12,000 people. They went into seas and they went into areas that nobody else would go into, and it was incredible what they've done in Texas, what they did in Florida, what they did in Puerto Rico. The Coast Guard has really become a symbol of strength and perseverance and toughness and genius, actually. It's purely genius. So hello to Lieutenant Nicholas Hartman, who is the commanding officer of the cutter Aquanet. And I also want to congratulate Seaman Christopher Wilson on being selected for A school. That's A, like in A. That's the best, right? Seaman Wilson, you truly make us proud. Congratulations. That's a big deal. Going to that school is like going to the Wharton School of Finance if you happen to be doing what you do. And to everyone on today's video
This
conference.
was in 2018, and he personally called service members on Thanksgiving Day in 2018. This is something that, Americans are proud of, to see the in chief being engaged with the service members, took his time out to actually call the service members. It's incredible.
Also, I want to thank you all for serving today. We thank God for the blessings of having you people be our heroes, and you really are our heroes. And your families are back here, and they love you, and they respect you, and they look forward to seeing you, because you're the ones who keep America safe and strong and free. You do a job like nobody else, and it is really great respect that we all have. You are very much appreciated, like you wouldn't believe, by the American public, by the citizens of our country. I want to maybe start with the Air Force, and I know that Brigadier General David Lyons is on the phone. And David, tell me a little bit about what you're doing.
Our mission here, we defend the two busiest airfields in Afghanistan, Kandahar and Bagram. We support our teammates and our mission sets, and then we deliver decisive combat air power across the entire country of Afghanistan. And Mr. President, I know you can't see us right now, but you've got 150 airmen in this room that would love to say Happy Thanksgiving to you. Vultures, what do you say to the President? Happy Thanksgiving!
That's great. Well, that's really fantastic. How are things going over there? Are you looking up? How is it looking to you? You've seen it. You've been there a while, and you've seen what's going on. You know what's happening better than anybody. How do you find things going?
Both the Taliban and ISIS are resilient adversaries, but I think that we're doing well. We get after them every single day. Our objective here is to fight the away game. And so what I mean by that is we never want this adversary to reach our shores again. And so every airman here is dedicated to keeping this fight away from our shores. A stable Afghanistan is good for Afghanistan, but we do what we do for America, sir.
Well, you said it better than anybody could have said. Keep them away from our shores, and that's why we're doing the strong borders. You probably see over the news what's happening in our southern border and our southern border territory. Large numbers of people, and in many cases we have no idea who they are, and in many cases they're not good people. They're bad people. But large numbers of people are forming at our border, and I don't have to even ask you. I know what you want to do. You want to make sure that you know who we're letting in, and we're not letting in anybody, essentially, because we want to be very, very careful. So you're right. You're doing it over there. We're doing it over here. And your people at the border, we have the military at the border for the first time. I don't know if it's ever, or certainly there's never been a presence like this, but we have a very powerful border now. We have the Cosentina fencing, and we have things that people don't even believe. We took old broken wall and we wrapped it with barbed wire plus. I guess you could really call it barbed wire plus. This is the ultimate. And nobody's getting through these walls, and we're going to make sure they're the right people, because that's what you and your family want, and all of your families, that's what they want. And that's why we're all fighting. You know, we're fighting for borders. We're fighting for our country. If we don't have borders, we don't have a country. So we're doing very well on the southern border. We're very tough. We get a lot of bad court decisions from the Ninth Circuit, which has become a big thorn in our side. We always lose, and then you lose again and again, and then you hopefully win at the Supreme Court, which we've done. But it's a terrible thing when judges take over your protective services, when they tell you how to protect your border. It's a disgrace. So we're winning, and you're winning, and I appreciate it very much. And General, your reputation's an incredible one. Thank you very much for doing the job, and I'll see you back when you're in the United States, or maybe I'll even see you over there. You never know what's going to happen.
Thank you, Mr. President. We appreciate that.
Thank you very much. Really great. And thank all the men and women with you. Really spectacular people. Well, next, let's talk to the U.S. Coast Guard Commanding Officer, Coast Guard Cutter, Aquanic, and it would be Lieutenant Nick Hartman. And so, Nick, tell me a little bit about what you're doing, where you are, and how's it going?
Good morning, Mr. President. This is Nicholas Hartman, like you mentioned, from Coast Guard Cutter Aquidneck. Here in the room we have 14 members from Patrol Forces Southwest Asia, and we're located in the Kingdom of Bahrain, Mr. President. Our mission out here is to patrol Arabian Gulf, Straits of Hormuz, and conduct our U.S. Central Command and NAVCENT objectives here in the Gulf. A lot of our work is partnering and building relationships with the Gulf Coast countries, and so that we have a good standing and resolve here in the Arabian Gulf and in Central Command AOR. Things, in my opinion, Mr. President, are going very well for us.
And what do you see in the region? What's going on in the region? How are they feeling about things? How are they feeling about trade? Because, you know, trade for me is a very big subject all over. We've been taken advantage of for many, many years by bad trade deals. We don't have any good trade deals. How are you finding things in the region, Nick?
Mr. President, from our perspective out on the water, sir, we're seeing that there is an abundance of trade happening in the region. There are vessels moving through the Straits of Hormuz and across the Arabian Gulf on a daily basis, carrying cargo to and fro, and we don't see any issues in terms of trade right now, sir.
Okay. Well, you'll keep it that way, and, you know, we want to have good free trade. We also want to have fair deals where we can do well, too, not just everybody else. Right now, every nation in the world does well with us. We don't do well with them. So that's changing, and it's changing fast. And where you are is a big factor in that, as you know. You've been told and you've been briefed. Well, I want to thank you very much, Nick, and great job. And again, as I said, there is no brand that's gone up like the Coast Guard over the last couple of years because of what you've done with the hurricanes in this country. People saw things that they've never seen before. The bravery of your people going out in waves like record-setting. It's been record-setting. The one hurricane in Texas, they say, dumped more water, and it was more violent in terms of water than anything we've ever had in the country. And you guys went out there and you did it like just a day in the office, and I really appreciate it. We all really appreciate it, Nick, and thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President, and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You take care of yourself. Let's go to the Army. Good old Army. We love the Army. We have Colonel Stephanie Barton, the U.S. Army. And Stephanie, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you are and what you're focused on, what you're doing.
In my opinion, this is what a commander-in-chief sounds like. He's calling service members on Thanksgiving Day back in 2018, talking to them on the phone, letting them know you're not alone. Even though you're not in the United States, even though you're not in a country, we love you, your family love you, and we are rooting for you. This is what a commander-in-chief sounds like. This is the 45th president of the United States and the 47th president. I respect this dog. I was about to say I respect this dog, bro, but I respect this man right here. I respect this G. This is an OG right here. The Don, the legend, the 47th, Donald J. Trump. Let's get it.
First and foremost, good morning and happy Thanksgiving on behalf of the 101st Sustainment Brigades. We're currently located in Bagram, Afghanistan. Sir, what we do for the country of Afghanistan, we're the senior logistics headquarters in theater. And it is an away game, and I will tell you, in order to fight and win the nation's wars, it's because of sustainment and logistics. And you've got highly motivated, true professionals in this room and outside this room that are truly making it happen. We support, if it's in the hands of the warfighter, it comes through us to them. So we support everything from coalition to joint forces, from border to border here in the country, sir.
Good. And how are you finding things in Afghanistan right now?
Sir, it's good. We're truly making the mission happen. When it comes to sustainment, we're responsible for all the strategic, operational, and tactical logistics. Like I said, if it comes in the theater, we get it in the warfighter's hand. But we have a phenomenal team, and I can't speak enough about that because a lot of the times the sustainment community, we're behind the scenes, which is fine. But it's a good team effort, and it takes the support by all to make it happen.
So, Colonel, how many people are you commanding right now, would you say?
10,000.
Wow. That's a lot of people. That's fantastic, Stephanie. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And not only is it important what you're doing, but you're enjoying what you're doing. Is that right?
Sir, absolutely. We truly love it, and I will tell you, our formation is a great mixture. We have all the Army compos from the active duty, National Guard, Reserve. We have Army, DoD civilians, and civilian contractors that literally we all come together and make this mission happen. So we do hate that we're not with our family and friends today, but I tell you, we are a close family here, and I'm truly happy to be a part of it. It takes the whole community, from green suiters to civilians, to make it happen. And sir, you would be very proud, because we truly are.
It's fantastic. We're proud of you. And I tell you what, we're proud of your people. And please say hello to everybody. Have an incredible Thanksgiving. And we're taking good care of you. You know, the budget's now at $716 billion, Stephanie, right? So we're getting rid of some of that old equipment that you see what's going in, the best in the world, right? So you see a big difference. It's an awfully big difference from what we had before. And it's only getting better. We'll be stronger than ever before, and with people like you, we feel very confident. So, Stephanie, thank you very much. Happy Thanksgiving to all, and I will see you when you're back.
Sir, sounds great. We have one last message, if that's okay.
Yes.
1,
Yes.
2, 3, go!
That's great. I really appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate it. Take care of yourself. We'll see you all soon. Thank you. From the U.S. Marine Corps, we have Colonel George Schreffler. And George, are you on?
So this is Lieutenant Colonel Sam Howie. Colonel Schreffler is doing a battlefield circulation right now. I'm the executive officer, and I'm here with Civil Marines who would like to wish you and our fellow Americans a happy Thanksgiving. How copy?
That's great. That's great, Sam. Good. How's it going over there?
It's going great, sir. Right now, the Special Purpose MAGTF, we're based in Kuwait, but we have Marines from Jordan all the way to Afghanistan and up into Iraq and Syria. And every day those Marines are ensuring that those who would do us harm pay for it. It's pretty amazing watching these young men and women, sailors and Marines, and what they do with a smile on their face every day.
And how is the progress coming, would you say?
I'd say the progress is excellent, sir. We've moved throughout those areas and cleared the vast majority of those enemy forces who face us. And right now, I think we're in a good position to continue that for the rest of the year or foreseeable future.
That's great. That's great. I'm hearing very good things. And they treat you good over there, I imagine, right? Do they treat you good?
They're outstanding. Our partners throughout, include here at the Al Jaber Air Base with the Air Force, they treat us like gold. We want for nothing. And today we had, I think everyone can agree, a fantastic Thanksgiving dinner here aboard the base.
That's great. That's great. Well, they should. We're good friends, and they've been a good ally. We treat them well, and they treat us well, and a lot of good things are happening over there. People are surprised to see how fast things are turning around. But you have one of the great bases. You have something that's incredible and special. And we'll get to see you, George. We're going to get to see you very soon. And I will say, and say hello to everybody else, but I will say, I want you to have a great Thanksgiving. You are, what's the time difference? What is your time lag over there? How many hours between, let's say, East Coast?
Right now, sir, it's 1800 in the evening. So there's about a 8-hour difference between us.
Yeah. That's a pretty big time difference, right? That's a pretty big time difference. So you've celebrated. Well, listen, you just take care of yourself and say hello to the Colonel and everybody. And you're special people, very, very special people, and we're very proud of you. And give my regards to Kuwait and everybody, but a lot of progress being made. Your country is really doing well. It's really doing well, like it hasn't done before. So that's good. It's always good to be fighting for something that is working. And unlike a lot of countries, this one works well, and it's working better than ever. So we'll see you when you're back, or maybe we'll see you some other place, okay?
Semper Fidelis.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Take care of yourself. From the U.S. Navy, we have the commanding officer, Captain Pat Hannafin. And Pat, are you on the phone?
Yes, sir, I'm with you. And from the over 4,800 sailors and airmen aboard USS Ronald Reagan, the nation's only permanently forward-deployed aircraft carrier, we are currently in Victoria Harbor, Hong Kong, about 13 hours ahead of you. Still Thanksgiving here. And from all the sailors on board Reagan, serving peace through strength for America in the Indo-Pacific. We wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
Well, that's great, Pat. I appreciate it very much, and say hello to everybody, and happy Thanksgiving to you. So the condition of the ship is A1?
Alpha 1, sir, absolutely.
Okay, good. Very important. So, we have another big one. The Gerald Ford is going to be joining you pretty soon. How does this compare in size and scope with the Gerald Ford? You know all about that. That's the new one, right?
Yes, sir. Size and scope, a good friend of mine just left command of that. But size and scope about the same. Certainly some improvements there to the plants and a few of the radars and even the catapults and gear are slightly different as well. But we'll push over 140 a day daily.
Yeah, Pat, tell me about the catapult system. So on the Gerald Ford, they don't use steam, which is the first one that I've ever heard of that doesn't use steam. And I know they have some difficulties, which I'm not happy about, and they spent a lot of money. And I was just curious, the steam system is tried and true for many, many years, as long as we've had aircraft carriers. How do you find steam versus what they're doing on the Gerald Ford, which is electronic and digital, if you can believe it?
Yes, sir. All of our Nimitz super carriers have been using steam for decades, and we find it pretty reliable. However, the electromagnetic catapults that they're running there offer some great benefits. Obviously, like any new piece, you got to work through the bugs, but they offer some benefits not only to stress and strain on the aircraft to extend service life and other pieces. I have no doubt we'll work through that just as we work through all of our other advancements and continue to bring it to the enemy when called to do so.
So when you do the new carriers, as we do and as we're thinking about doing, would you go with steam or would you go with electromagnetic? Because steam is very reliable. And the electromagnetic, unfortunately, you have to be Albert Einstein to really work it properly. What would you do?
Yes, sir. You sort of have to be Albert Einstein to run the nuclear power plants that we have here as well, but we're doing that very well. I would go, sir, Mr. President, I would go electromagnetic cats. I think that's the way to go. We do pay a heavy cost for transiting the steam around the ship.
Good. Okay. I like to hear that. I'm actually happy about that answer because at least, they're doing what they're doing, but that's actually a very good answer. So, Pat, how are you seeing things over there? What's going on?
Yes, sir. We have been flying, sailing, and operating everywhere international law allows, just as we have for decades out here, in full support of our free and open Indo-Pacific push in company with our Japanese and other allies. We've worked with the Japanese here in Keen Sword, the Australians, Canadians, so a lot of allies out here, and we are certainly their best friend and our allies and our adversaries' worst fear. And that's exactly what we want to do, is bring peace through strength to this region.
Right. And you have a 6-month deployment approximately?
Sir, we're a little shorter than that, but Reagan, as your only permanently forward deployed carrier, spends about half of the time each year out and about half back in getting maintenance work on it. Each of the sailors and airmen aboard spend 3 to 5 years out here with us at a time before going back to a stateside assignment. But they're all honored to be serving the nation out here.
Right. Pat, why is it that the Reagan is the only one that's permanently deployed of all the aircraft carriers? Why is that? Was it set up for that, or is it just happens to be?
Yes, sir. We have worked a single aircraft carrier out in Japan for decades now. Reagan took that role back in about 2013. I'm sorry, that's not quite right. About 2016. but it switches out. So different carriers out here for different periods of time. It was George Washington before us, and then a few of the conventional carriers, going way back to Midway, Kitty Hawk, and Independence. So we've been running that for a while. But it's just an infrastructure piece. It takes quite a bit of infrastructure to make that work, but we get a lot of presence out of it for the region.
And do you feel safe in the region? Do you see any hostility? Do you see any aggression? Because, you're hearing a little bit about aggression from a couple of the players. What are you feeling?
Yes, sir. We have safe and independent operations out here throughout the theater. We do feel safe. There have been a couple of close calls, but in most cases, the vast majority, they are professional navies, and we have no doubt that we can bring we bring the U.S. interest to the theater, and expect that to continue into the future.
That's great, Pat. Well, I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving and say hello to everybody in the Navy. And just in closing, I want to wish everybody a really, really happy Thanksgiving. And we'll see you when you're back, and maybe I'll see you over there. But it's a great honor to talk to you. I know everything about what everyone is doing, and you're doing an incredible job, and you're keeping us safe. And we all miss you back here, but we'll be seeing you soon. And on behalf of the whole country, I want to just thank you for what you're doing. Very, very special people, men and women that are just incredible people. You're highly respected. And I tell you what, our country has such respect. I don't think you hear it enough, but our country has such respect for you and the job you do. So happy Thanksgiving, and we will see you soon.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Thank you all. Bye. Bye.
Great people. They're great people.
President, I'm looking forward to going to Afghanistan and going to the Middle East.
We're going to do some interesting things at the appropriate time. We'll be doing some very interesting things.
Do you have a sense of when yet, when the trip might be?
Excuse me?
Do you have a sense of when the trip might be yet?
I do, but I can't tell you. You're the last people I can tell. How's everything in Florida doing? I think the weather's good. Yeah? Florida. Welcome to the Southern White House.
Does the CIA have a recording of MBS demanding Khashoggi silence?
I don't want to talk about it. You have to ask them.
What about the border, Mr. President?
Well, the border's coming along very well. It's become very strong. We're getting some terrible decisions from the Ninth Circuit, as usual. I don't know if we've ever had a victory in the Ninth Circuit. We have to appeal it. Yes, a vast number of their decisions get overturned, generally speaking. And it's a shame. It's a shame. It's a disgrace, frankly. And essentially, they're legislating. They're saying what to do. Some judge sitting in some location very far away is telling our incredible military and law enforcement what to do. And it's not right. And it's been going on like that for a long time. And we are doing really well, considering the laws are a disaster. And if we had the right laws, it would be a lot less expensive and would do it a lot easier. But we don't have the right laws, and we have people interpreting the laws, and they always give us a bad interpretation. So hopefully we've shown some light on the Ninth Circuit. I know that Chief Justice John Roberts, has been speaking a little bit about it, and I think and I have a lot of respect for him. I like him and I respect him, but I think we have to use some common sense. This Ninth Circuit, everybody knows it. It's totally out of control. And what they're doing, what they're saying, the opinions are very unfair to law enforcement. They're very unfair to our military. And they're very unfair, most importantly, to the people of our country, because I'm keeping them safe. And you see how we fortified things, and all of that vast amount of fighting that you see going on at the border, it's all taking place in Mexico. And Mexico cannot believe how tough these people are. The mayor of Tijuana and so many others had said, boy, these are tough people. They start fighting right away. They're tough people. You have many criminals in that caravan, and the big caravan hasn't arrived yet. And we're very well fortified. We have fencing and walls like very few people have. We've been able to do it rather quickly. Cosentini wire, and so many other things are there now that they didn't have. And they're not coming through. We're not letting criminals into our country. Got to come in legally. You have to come in through a process. So we want people to come in because I have many, many companies moving back into the United States. They're opening up car plants. They're opening up factories all over the country. The United States is booming. We have the lowest unemployment we've essentially in most groups ever had. So we have a lot of good things happening. We need workers, but they have to come in legally. We want them to come in, but they have to be people that want to work and want to do a great job for our country. They come in through a merit system. They have to come in. Right now, under the Democrats, they don't have a merit system. They want open borders and people can just flow in. You have tremendously dangerous people in those caravans. And we do not want them coming into the United States, and we're not going to let them. We're throwing out MS-13 and so many others. We're throwing them out of our country by the thousands that got in here over the years. And we're throwing them out by the thousands, and we're bringing back towns. We're making towns safe, and we're doing an excellent job. But we're getting hurt by the Ninth Circuit very, very badly. Everybody files in the Ninth Circuit. I haven't seen anybody file anyplace else. They automatically go to the Ninth Circuit. They could go any place in the country. And I think we're going to have to stop that somehow. The judges are going to have to get together, or Congress is going to have to get together and stop it, because they're taking advantage of our country by filing consistently and always, just about, that I see, in the Ninth Circuit. Even our legislation that we did have passed, it failed in the Ninth Circuit, it failed in the Ninth Circuit appeal, it then won in the Supreme Court. And it's just a shame, because it's really hurting people. It's hurting our law enforcement tremendously. And now that the military is on the border, it's really hurting our military. And frankly, when they hear of these decisions, these are professional, the military, the law enforcement, first responders, they can't believe the decisions that are being made by these judges. This is what they do. They do law enforcement, law and order. And they get these decisions down. They say, who makes these decisions? They're not into lawyer things. They say, who makes these decisions? Who are the people that are giving these decisions that are going to make it unsafe for us, meaning law enforcement and military, and making it unsafe for the United States? So despite that, we have a very powerful border, and a lot of good things are happening.
Mr. President, are you concerned that by not punishing Saudi Arabia more, it could send a message to other world leaders that they can do as they please and America could weaken their eyes?
No, not at all. Saudi Arabia has been a long-time strategic partner. They're investing hundreds of billions of dollars in our country. I mean, hundreds of billions. They're keeping the oil prices low. I see that yesterday.
When was the last time you heard your commander-in-chief this articulate? When was the last time you heard your commander-in-chief calling the service members and talking to them, finding out if they're doing good, how they're being treated in other countries, if the equipment they have, the machines they have, if it's up to date, and how are they finding those equipment? Do they like it? Do they want to change? What would they advise if they wanted advice on equipment type? It's like this is just on another level to see a commander in chief who was actually, on business. This is what you call standing on business right here. This man stands on business. Like there's no conversation about it. And I just wanted to, throw it back for you guys to see what kind of Thanksgiving we had in 2018. This is 2024. We see the commander in chief now, but it's not anything compared to what this man was doing. And it was peaceful. It was way peaceful back then compared to now. And he still had the the mindset to say, you know what, let's call the service members and let's wish them happy Thanksgiving and tell them how much we appreciate them, how much they mean to our country, and how much their family adores them. This is absolutely legendary stuff. And this is why I call him the legend, the Don, the 45th, and now the 47th president elect, Donald J. Trump. This is, man, I miss this dog right here. But it's pulling up here. It's pulling up in January. So yeah, we're ready for January. Who is ready for January in 2025? Yeah, this dog right here is pulling up in 2025. The G is coming back. The legend is coming back. The Dawn is coming back. You better get ready.
I was blamed for causing traffic jams because I have the oil prices so low. Well, I have the oil prices low because I'm jawboning them and others all the time to keep them low. Nobody ever did that. No president ever did that. And gasoline is now at a very low number. But I actually got even beat up for that, where they said the president has the gasoline so low that he's causing traffic jams. Can you believe this one? I said, that's one nobody ever thought of. So anyway, no, but I'll always, let's have some traffic jams. We want low oil prices, and Saudi Arabia's really done a good job in that respect. They pumped out a lot more oil than was going to be pumped out when I called them about 4 weeks ago. And if you look at oil 4 weeks ago, it was at 82, 83, and it was going up to 100 a barrel. That would have doubled your prices and even tripled your prices at the car for gasoline. And instead, you have very low gas prices all over the country. That's because of what I did, and Saudi Arabia helped us. But very importantly, they're investing billions of dollars. They're buying their equipment from us. And remember this, they don't have to buy it from us. They can buy it from Russia, and they can buy it from China. They make very good equipment. They don't make as good equipment as we make. Nobody does, nobody even close. But they make very good equipment. So they can spend that money in Russia and China and other places. And that is not acceptable.
So the CIA, Mr. President, concluded with confidence that India...
They didn't conclude. No, Josh, they didn't conclude. I'm sorry.
You saying they did not?
Josh, no, they didn't conclude. They did not come to a conclusion. They have feelings certain ways, but they didn't have the report. And you can ask Mike, they have not concluded. Nobody's concluded. I don't know if anyone's going to be able to conclude that the Crown Prince did it. But I will say this, I don't know. I don't know. But whether he did or whether he didn't, he denies it vehemently. His father denies it, the king, vehemently. The CIA doesn't say they did it. They do point out certain things, and in pointing out those things, you can conclude that maybe he did or maybe he didn't. But that was another part of the false reporting. Because a lot of you said yesterday that they said he did it. Well, they didn't say that. They said he might have done it. That's a big difference. But they're vehemently denying it. And we have hundreds of thousands of jobs. Do people really want me to give up hundreds of thousands of jobs? And frankly, if we went by this standard, we wouldn't be able to have anybody as an ally, because look at what happens all over the world. But then you could also take a look at Iran. Take a look at Syria, where, millions of people have been just slaughtered horribly, horribly. You take a look at what's going on in Iran and the vicious situation that's taking place there and the number of people that are being killed and slaughtered. You take a look all over the world. We're not going to be able to let's not deal with anybody. The fact is that Saudi Arabia is tremendously helpful in the Middle East. If we didn't have Saudi Arabia, we wouldn't have a big base. We wouldn't have any reason, probably. I mean, if you look at Israel, Israel would be in big trouble without Saudi Arabia. So what does that mean? Israel's going to leave? You want Israel to leave? We have a very strong ally in Saudi Arabia. We have an ally that said they did not commit at the top level, the Crown Prince, the King. They did not commit this atrocity, and it's an atrocity. It's a terrible thing. I dislike it more than you do. But the fact is, they've been a very strong ally. They create tremendous wealth. They create really tremendous number of jobs in their purchases. And very importantly, they keep the oil price down. If you want to see a global depression, all you have to do is lift the oil price $50 a barrel, which could happen very quickly once we lose that relationship. So I hate the crime. I hate what's done. I hate the cover-up. And I will tell you this, the Crown Prince hates it more than I do. And they have vehemently denied it. The CIA points it both ways. As I said, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But I will say very strongly that it's a very important ally. And if we go by a certain standard, we won't be able to have allies with almost any country. Okay?
Who should be held accountable?
Maybe the world should be held accountable because the world is a vicious place. The world is a very, very vicious place. You look at what's happening in China, and you look at what's happening in so many different countries. I could name many countries. You look at what's happening with terrorism all over the world. That's the other thing with Saudi Arabia. They really are. They're putting up tremendous amounts of money to actually fight terrorism. Now, they were a part of terrorism, and nobody's going to try and justify that. They were a big part of it. But they're spending a lot of money, and they're opening up, and they're doing a lot of things that are very good. They're really opening up that country for a lot of good. You know, until this happened, there were a lot of people saying a lot of good things about the Crown Prince. So he strongly denies it. He vehemently denies it. And my policy is very simple. America first, keep America great again. And that's what I'm doing, and we're doing better than anybody thought even possible. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you've been talking to the troops. I'm wondering if
To who?
The troops today.
Yes.
I'm wondering if you can tell us at what point do you want to withdraw troops from Afghanistan?
Well, we're always looking to do the right thing, and we'll be seeing over a period of time. But we're looking, I just spoke to Afghanistan, as you know. We're always looking to do whatever's right. We're in very strong negotiations in Afghanistan right now, which a lot of people don't know about. This may be the first, but we are in very, very strong negotiation in Afghanistan. We'll see what happens. If something happens, that would be a great thing. I'd be very happy about that. I really think the people of Afghanistan also, and they are good fighters, and they fought for a long time. They fought for a lot longer than we fought. They've been fighting for many, many, many decades. But I think they're tired of fighting. And we'll see what happens, but we are talking about peace. We'll see if that happens.
Negotiations with?
We have negotiations going on. I don't know that they're going to be successful. Maybe they're not. Probably they're not. Who knows? They might be. They might not be. You know my attitude on all of that stuff, whether it's North Korea or anybody else. Maybe they are going to be successful. Maybe they're not going to be. But we have negotiations going on right now in Afghanistan. Okay?
Mr. President, what is your response to people who say that a phone call wasn't enough for the troops today?
Well, nobody's done more for the military than I have. I took the budget from very little to $700 billion and then $716 billion. And I'm now going over to the Coast Guard, where I did last year, and I will probably a lot. But we're going over to the Coast Guard. I really believe nobody, in fact, a number of generals were on television over the weekend, and just unrelated, but they all mentioned the fact that nobody's done as a president for the military in a long time what I've done, because I've taken spending where you had a depleted military and it wasn't.
Thank you for tuning into the live show. You know what time it is. It is your boy, Genesis. Smash the like button, double tap your screen. All right, it is currently 12:18 a.m. Eastern Time. And today's date is the 29th of November, 2024. Yes, we are currently watching the former president, the 45th president of the United States, President Donald J. Trump, speaks to military service members on Thanksgiving. This is a throwback in 2018. And you just got to give this man his flowers. This is why I call him a legend, because this is what you do as a commander in chief. You come out and you speak to the service members. And when people say this guy doesn't really care about the military personnel, the veterans, and in my mind, I'm like, what are you even saying? This man made right to try for veterans. How would you say he doesn't care about veterans? I don't get it. And I'm asking someone in the chat, I'm saying, you know what? You know what? Tell me if the commander in chief called the troops today. And this person says, yes, he did. I'm like, do we have a video proof? There is no video proof. We just know he did because there's articles saying he did. But this man took his time out to sit down for 1 hour and actually called them and documented the call, and you can hear the way he's talking. You can tell this is not just, hey, are you guys okay? All right, thank you for doing everything you're doing. Happy Thanksgiving. He's talking to them in details. Man, you gotta respect Donald Trump, man. This man doesn't get the accolades he deserves, which is fine. You know, you don't have to like him. However, you cannot take away the things he did, how much he cared. He has a sharp mouth, okay? I don't agree with everything he says. I don't agree with everything he says. However, come on, man. You gotta give him his flowers. Okay, you just gotta give him his flowers. That's all.
Yes, and it frankly put us in danger. And I was able to get Congress to give us $700 billion and now $716 billion for our military. And I've also done more for the vets than anybody's ever done. I got choice approved. They've been trying to get choice for 40 years, more than 40 years. They couldn't get it. Where a vet can go directly to a doctor now instead of waiting on a line for 2 months and 2 weeks and 3 weeks and amounts of time that are unthinkable to anybody, including yourselves. So I think I've done more than anybody else, certainly in many, many years and probably in many decades.
Mr. President, are there any updates on the troops that are being sent to the border in regards to the caravan?
No, no troops. We're going to have a strong border. Our southern border is going to be very strong. You heard me speaking to some of the folks just now in different parts of the world, and they're so proud of the job they're doing. And you got to have borders. If you don't have borders, you don't have a country. I mean, the Democrats want open borders, and they want these people coming in. Many of those people are criminals, okay, and have been so adjudged. We know who they are. They have records. They have some very substantial criminal records, some very bad criminal records. They're in the caravan. You saw what happened in Tijuana, where a number of the people said, these are tough people. They start fighting. They're starting fistfights. They have fistfights all over the streets. They're starting fistfights. They said, these are not like normal, innocent people. These are people, you talk to them and they start a fistfight. I don't want that in this country. Okay?
Mr. President, what about the idea that the military may use lethal force against these migrants?
If they have to, they're going to use lethal force. I've given the okay. Yeah, if they have to. I hope they don't have to. But, you're dealing with a minimum of 500 serious criminals. So I'm not going to let the military be taken advantage of. I have no choice. Do I want that to happen? Absolutely not. But you're dealing with rough people. You ask the people in Tijuana, Mexico. They opened up with wide arms. Just come in, let me help you, let us take care of you. And within 2 days, now they're going crazy to get them out. They want them out. Because things are happening, bad things are happening in Tijuana. And again, it's not in this country because we've closed it up. 2 days ago, we closed the border. We actually just closed it. We're saying nobody's coming in because it was out of control. But you take a look at Tijuana, Mexico, and you see what's happening there. It's really a bad situation.
What do you mean you close the border and nobody's coming in? What do you mean by that?
If we find that it's uncontrollable, Josh, if we find that it gets to a level where we are going to lose control or where people are going to start getting hurt, we will close entry into the country for a period of time until we can get it under control.
In the entire border?
The whole border. I mean the whole border. And Mexico will not be able to sell their cars into the United States where they make so many cars at great benefit to them, not at great benefit to us, by the way. But at least now we have a good new trade deal with Mexico and with Canada. But we will close the border. And that means that Mexico's not going to be able to sell their cars into the United States until it's open. But we're going to either have a border or we're not. And when they lose control of the border on the Mexico side, we just close the border. And we have a very powerful border. We've built a very strong border in a very short period of time, and the military has been fantastic. The job they've done. And by the way, Border Patrol and ICE, all of the law enforcement we have involved, and we have local law enforcement too, they have done an incredible job. And they've wanted this for years. I'm the first president that's done it to this extent, but they've wanted this for years. And some of the presidents, I guess they didn't care, or they wanted open borders. I don't think they wanted open borders, because most of them, if you go back to 2006, they all approved essentially a wall, a very powerful fence, which is pretty much the same thing. But in 2006, if you look, Obama, you look at Hillary Clinton, you look at Schumer, all of the people that are standing up protesting, they think it's good for them politically. See, I think it's very bad for them politically. I think the fact that they're weak on the border is very, very bad for them politically. But, I've only been a
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody tuning in right now. God bless you. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Well, it is a day after Thanksgiving now because it is currently 12:24 a.m. So, somebody just said in the chat, Genesis, are you getting paid for this? Lol. So it's like if you love the United States and you have so much respect for President Trump and you voted for him, you have to be paid to talk about the things that you believe, the things that you love about the United States. Here's the thing, even Americans don't love the United States like immigrants do. And I'm always wondering why. And if you see a person talking about the United States, they're like, well, are you getting paid for this? It's like you should be doing this, okay? You should be online, being on the streets, doing stuff that you know uphold the United States. And if you're serving in the military, 100%, I respect you and thank you for your service. However, anybody that you see doing stuff, don't be saying you're getting paid for this. No, this is today. Yesterday was Thanksgiving, and this was what? This is Thanksgiving throwback in 2018. So it's like, why do people always say, "Are you getting paid for this?" Oh, you're getting paid for this. That's why you're coming out here talking about this. It's like, no. Can can you love the country too and do something about it? It's like I've been streaming this for a long time. I've been streaming about the United States for like since almost going on 6 months right now. And the same question every time: Are you getting paid for this? As a matter of fact, I just got monetized like 9 days ago. So I was streaming and wasn't getting paid for it. And I haven't still gotten like nothing from YouTube. So it's like, why do people always say, are you getting paid for it? Are you getting paid for it? I love the United States, bro. Like, what do you want me to say? I love the United States and I play both sides, okay? I play both sides. When Kamala and Trump were running, I played Kamala's speeches, Trump's speeches, talked about it. We said our opinions. However, I voted for Donald J. Trump because I love his policies. I prefer the way the border was when he was president. I prefer the way the inflation was. I prefer the grocery prices when he was there. I prefer the gas prices. I prefer the mortgage rates. I prefer the interest rate. No new wars. You didn't have anything about all of these countries in chaos. So it's like, I don't get it when people say, are you getting paid for this? Like, it's bad to actually do this. Am I doing something wrong? Let me know. So I want to know. So now he's saying, didn't Trump put your country on the no-fly list? Good, he should. Like, what do you want me to say? Oh no, I'm not gonna support Trump anymore because he puts my country on no-fly list. I was born in Nigeria, bro. I moved here like 8 years ago. I am now a United States citizen. It took me 5 years to become a United States citizen. I am an American as well as I am a Nigerian. So if Nigeria does something that Trump believes that they should be on a no-fly list, it's fine, bro. It is fine, bro. Every commander in chief should do what they need to do to protect their citizens. So if that's what Trump believes, if that's what Trump believes that it's better for the United States and to protect its citizens, fine, bro. What you think I'm gonna say? Oh no, I don't like him anymore. That's the thing, y'all. Y'all like to be trying to. And it's, look, somebody else says Trump doesn't care about you, homie. So who cares about you? Joe Biden, Kamala Harris? Who cares about you, bro? Craig Croy says, "Are you a naturalized citizen?" Yeah, I am. Who cares about you? This is the thing. You come here, and then you say, "Why am I not talking about Obama?" You see this, and then they're gonna say, "Well, because I am brown skinned, I am supposed to be talking about Obama." You see the ideology these people have. I don't know if these people pay bills or they just, it's like, you guys talk like kids, like children. My daughter is 5 years old and she doesn't even talk like you guys. So because I am brown skinned, I should be talking about Obama. Golly. Because I am brown skinned, I should be talking about Obama. Oh my goodness.
Politician for 3 years, so maybe they know better than me.
Is there going to be a government shutdown over this wall in December?
Could happen, yeah, over border security. The wall is just a part of border security, a very important part, probably the most important part. But could there be a shutdown? There certainly could, and it will be about border security, of which the wall is a part.
Do you think Secretary Nielsen is doing a good enough job?
Well, she's in there trying, I'll tell you. It's a tough job. I mean, yesterday she gets a ruling that things that we were doing, a judge that knows nothing about it decided to take law enforcement into his own hands, and he gives a ridiculous ruling. So we'll appeal it. But it makes the job harder. We're still doing the job perfectly. But it makes the job harder, and it makes the job more dangerous. Because a judge made a ruling that was shocking. Okay?
Just to be clear, going back to the idea of shutting down the border, what would it take for you to reach that step and want to do that?
Well, I've already shut it down. I've already shut it down for short periods.
We're talking about that one border.
No, yeah. I've already shut down parts of the border because it was out of control with the rioting on the other side in Mexico, and I just said shut it down.
What does that look like in practice?
What?
What does that look like in practice to shut down the border?
You see it. I mean, it took place 2 days ago.
Did you have to sign an order? Is there any?
Yeah, they called me up and I signed an order.
Can we get a copy of that?
Oh, you don't need it, don't worry. It's not that big a deal, but maybe to some people it is. What we want to do is we want to have a strong border. We want to have people come into our country. I want to have a lot of people come in. We need them. But they have to come in through merit, and they have to come in legally. They have to come in legally. You know, we have a lot of people, millions of people that have been waiting online for years to become citizens of our country. Great people. They went through a whole process. And then these people come in and they think they're just going to walk in and it's a very unfair thing to all of the people that have been waiting online, in some cases for many years, because they've done it right, but they don't think they've done it right because they say, well, how can we do it right? And we go through this very complicated legal process, and they have lawyers and everything else, and then you have people rushing through the border, and they're supposed to stay. It's not happening with me. We've been very tough on the border. I mean, the problem that we have is that I've created and helped create a country that's doing better than it's ever done economically, so a lot of people are coming up here because their countries are not doing well. And perhaps for a reason, but whatever that reason is, their countries are not doing well. Okay, a couple of more. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
How prepared are you for this meeting with President Xi? How are you preparing for it, and how confident are you?
I'm very prepared. I've been preparing for it all my life. You know, it's not like, oh, gee, I'm going to sit down and study. I know every ingredient. I know every stat. I know it better than anybody knows it. And my gut has always been right. And we're doing very well. And I will tell you, China very much wants to make a deal. China has been taking advantage of the United States for many, many years. They've taken out $400, $500, and $600 billion a year. That doesn't include the theft of intellectual property, which has been horrible, what they've been doing. And, you know, it's not a question of preparing. I think I prepared for this meeting. I had a meeting literally right in that corner with President Xi. We have a great relationship. I like him a lot. I think he likes me. He probably likes me less now than he did before we did what we're doing. But we've picked up trillions of dollars in value, and China has lost trillions of dollars in value since I'm president. Trillions, many trillions of value. And we've picked up many trillions of dollars in value. And we are a true economic power, far greater than we were before I became president. We are an economic power that is far greater than we were. When I took over, we were teetering. We were in bad shape. We were going down to -4, -5, -6% in GDP. Instead, last quarter we hit 4.2%, and we are doing very well. I can say this: China wants to make a deal very badly.
Do you think it's going to happen?
Because of the tariffs. Because right now on $250 billion, they'll be paying as of January 1st 25%. And in many cases, they're already paying 25%. On the rest that they're not, they're paying 10. But the 10% goes to 25% on January 1st. And so they're going to be paying a tremendous amount of money, which frankly is great for our country. We're taking in billions of dollars from China. We never took in 10 cents from China. They took everything from us. We never took anything from them. Now, as of already, we're taking in, right now, we're taking in billions. China is, people don't understand this. China is right now paying us billions of dollars a month. That's never happened before. And
Thank you for tuning in to the show one more time. Thank you. Thank you. So we're not going to do identity politics or race politics, because if that's what we want to do, the 44th president of the United States was President Barack Obama, who is brown skin, and whatever you want to say about what the history has been in the United States about brown skin people, um, Obama is brown skin and he's held the highest office in the land. So that is the past. I'm not saying forget history. I'm not saying history didn't happen, but what I'm saying is times have changed. And to see that a brown skinned man was the 44th president of the United States, identity politics, race politics, and trying to divide based on race, based on identity, based on them versus us, that's not going to work. That is not going to work because, I mean, we've had the first female vice president of the United States, who happens to be Kamala Harris. She's a person of color as well. So those rhetoric of, you know, you don't respect your ancestors, you should be ashamed of yourself, is like not going to work, because my ancestors would be glad that the 44th president of the United States was a brown skinned person. So identity politics is not going to work anymore. It's not going to work anymore. It's over. It's over, guys. This is the new age. I'm not saying they're still not bad. There's still bad actors out there. I'm not saying everything is rosy and great and there's no bad actors. No, that's not what I'm saying. There's always bad actors in every sphere of life, in every work of life, in every industry, organizations, companies. There's always a bad actor. However, this is a new day, okay? People are uniting. That's why you have so many people, coming together as one, okay? Everybody's coming together as one. There's no division anymore. You're not going to divide us based on history. No. Indians, Africans, Americans, everybody has woken up to the fact that, look, it's love. Love heals. Love conquers all. Unity is the number one thing right now. There's no amount of things you would say, there's no amount of things you would do that would cause the division that you so crave. It's like, would you rather the division keeps going, or would you rather unity prevails? Wouldn't you rather have unity prevail? And that's why when I say I voted for Trump, they're gonna say, well, you're brown skin, you moved here from Nigeria, you became a United States citizen, and you voted for Trump. Man, you don't know nothing. It's like, come on, bro.
And soon, they're going to be paying us many, many billions of dollars a month. But China wants to make a deal. If we can make a deal, we will.
Are you worried about Matt Whitaker's finances and his potential?
No, Matt Whitaker's a highly respected person. And, once I choose somebody, they always go through hell. But Matt Whitaker is a highly respected man. The Justice Department respects him tremendously. I've spoken to a lot of people. And, the press has been nasty to Matt Whitaker, but I can tell you that he is a highly respected, strong person, and he's doing a great job. Everybody tells me that. He's doing a really great job.
Have you done anything, Mr. President, to try to bring Julian Assange back to the United States?
No, I haven't been asked to. No.
Would you want him to face charges here?
I don't know anything about it. I'm not very familiar with the whole situation. But I would say that if somebody made a request, I guess it's something we consider. I just don't know very much about that situation. Okay? What else? Anything else?
Are you interviewing people this week for new jobs in your administration?
Yeah, we'll have a few. I'm very happy with my cabinet and people that work for me and for us, really work for the country. We have a great cabinet. We have absolute stars. But a few of them, I would say, can do very well outside. Everyone's doing well when they leave. That's one thing I'll tell you. Everyone that leaves the Trump administration has come out really well. I'm very proud of a lot of them. Look at Hope. Hope Hicks is doing a fantastic job. She's a fantastic young woman, and I'm very proud of her. Look how she's doing. She's become a very important person in the outside world. And we have many such people where they work here for a year and a half or for a period of time, and they go outside and they do really well. Many of them. So, and that's what I want. I want to see. There's always a lot of change. Yeah, I'll probably be changing a couple, maybe a few, but very little. Overall, we're very happy.
Are you doing interviews this week for that?
Yeah, I'm doing interviews this week. I'll do interviews as we say in the Southern White House. People like doing interviews here.
What jobs are you interviewing for, Mr. President?
Well, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. But
You could just let us
you'll
know
be
now,
safe.
wouldn't you?
I know. Maybe I will.
Have you talked to Ivanka about her emails?
Yeah, I have, actually. And very innocent, a short period of time, very early on. There was no...
Yes, y'all, you know what time it is. Okay, so this person right here, instead of just blocking, I would let them stay. So this guy says, because you're supporting someone who you know nothing about, it's sad, really, about it. If you are a Christian, you get the Bible, you read the Bible, and then you believe in Christ, right? You believe in Jesus. What do you know about Jesus? You read about Jesus from the Bible, and then you felt his presence in your heart, right? You never saw Jesus. Nobody ever seen him. Like, you never actually saw him. You may feel the Holy Spirit. You may feel his blessings around you. You may feel his protection around you. It's the same thing with every individual that you see. For example, you listen to Taylor Swift or Beyonce or Jay-Z, or you watch football. You like these guys. You support them. You don't even know them. You don't know them. And here is, I'm not comparing Jesus to anybody. I'm just saying, if you're talking about seeing this, like, what do you know about this person? What do we actually know about anybody? And that's the question. What do we actually know about anybody? What do we know about anybody? This guy right here gave us a secured border. Mortgage rate in 2019, 2020 was like 0.98% or 2.89%. Mortgage rate has never been that low. We had money in our savings account. Prices were low overall. I don't need to know him because he's not my uncle. He's not going to be my dad. I don't want to know him. Okay. I just want a competent person who is going to be the commander in chief, do his job. That's all I care about. I want a competent person who knows how to do their job in the White House. That's it. Who cares about knowing him? Who cares, bro? This is the thing. Children want to know everything. Adults just want to check, am I going to be able to pay my bills? Am I going to be able to afford groceries? Am I going to be able to let my daughter play around, travel around the country without having any fear that somebody coming from the border is going to hurt them? Bro, this is why I call you guys kids. Like, that's why I say, if you don't pay bills, don't be on the live stream. Don't be on the live stream because you're all in your feelings. You don't know this guy. Who wants to know him? Like, you go to McDonald's. Do you know who makes your food? Do you know who makes your food at McDonald's? You just go to the drive-thru and you open your hands and they put fries in your hands and you chuck it up in your mouth. You don't know how they made it. Do you know who makes your food at Chick-fil-A? Do you know who supplies your food at Walmart, Publix? Do you know how it was planted? Do you know how it came about? You just buy it and cook it. You don't care about knowing how the farmer planted the food. You don't know. Like you were, man, you guys.
Deletion of emails like the 33,000 plus probably another 100,000 that Hillary Clinton did after she got a subpoena. There was no bleach pit. There was no anything, just innocent emails. There were no classified emails. A much different deal. It's another fake news story. And she did transition out. She was a private person, and then ultimately she transitioned out from private to government. And I believe all of her records are in the Historical Society, the historical records. Much different than the other situation that I've talked about for a long time. But she transitioned out, but everything's in historical records. I'll see you over at the Coast Guard. I'm going over to say hello.
That's the only thing you have. This is the only thing you're going to say. You know it's going to deport you, right? I became a United States citizen during Trump's term. Hello? So it's like, what are you saying? That's the only thing you have to say. Oh, he's going to deport you. You know, right? He's going to deport you. I voted for Trump, bro. I voted for Trump. So if I was scared he's going to deport me, I would be saying something you're saying. Ever, I'm not scared. Did everything the right way. So this is what you know how to do. Fear mongering, just like the Democrats, okay? They fear monger everybody. And that's why you guys always lose. And this is why I've predicted here that in 2028 and 2032, there's no way the Democratic Party is going to win the presidential election because they never listen to people. They believe they are always right. And they believe everybody who voted for Trump are uneducated people.
The Coast Guard right now, which I look forward. I'll see you. I don't know if you're going, but if you are, I'll see you there. Thank you all very much.
What are you most thankful for, Mr. President?
For having a great family and for having made a tremendous difference in this country. I've made a tremendous difference in the country. This country is so much stronger now than it was when I took office that you wouldn't believe it. And I mean, you see it, but
Yes, y'all. Thank you for tuning into the live show. You know what time it is. There you go. Thank you for tuning into the live show. It is what it is. You have people who love the United States. You have people who just want to talk about how bad the United States is, and you have people who just want to see the United States do good, especially people who came from another country who have seen other side. Okay, I always tell people here, if you have never left the United States, you should leave the United States and go live in other countries and then come back home to the United States. Then you're gonna be in love, deeply in love with the United States. But because you've never left the United States, you're used to McDonald's, your fast food that you're chunking up in your mouth, and your smoothie and your shakes, and you're chunking it in your mouth. You don't know what other people are going through in other part of the world. You need to go there and then come back home. Then you would cherish your country. So we're gonna keep throwing it back. This is another Thanksgiving video by the legendary Donald Trump. Hopefully this comes.
Thank you very much. That was great. We just had a nice Thanksgiving dinner. I thought I was going to be having it someplace else, and Senator Barrasso is a great friend of mine. He said, that would be great if we did it. I said, you come with me, John, and he came with me. John, thank you very much. Great friend of ours, a great senator and a great man. And I want to thank General Milley, special warrior. He's a special warrior. And I want to congratulate you also, because I just saw some numbers that are incredible. ISIS, you're wiping them out left and right. There's almost nothing left in this area. You're not going to be lonely. And Al-Qaeda, the same thing. And tremendous progress. And You know, we have a very special friend of ours that's here. We had a meeting a little while ago. I said, would you like to come over and say hello to the troops? And he said, that would be such an honor. And I think what I'll do is, before I start, I'll bring up the president of Afghanistan, President Ghani, is here. So please, Mr. President, we'd love to have you say something. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
In the name of God, the compassionate, the mercy. Mr. President, great American troops, great patriots, happy Thanksgiving. It's an occasion for us to be especially thankful because the President of the United States is here. And he has been the architect of the South Asia strategy and the strategy for wiping out Al-Qaeda and Daesh. Thanks to your support and the bravery of the Afghan soldiers, we've inflicted an incredible defeat on ISIS in Nangarhar. Last week it was Nangarhar. In the next 3 months, it's going to be all of Afghanistan. Equally, with your support, what we have done to wipe out Al-Qaeda South Asia is tremendous, and thank you. President Trump, people talked a lot about bin Laden, but what you did to eliminate al-Baghdadi, who was an organizer and not a talker, is much greater accomplishment. Congratulations. I would also like to take this occasion to say thank you to the Gold Star families. 2,298 American men and women in uniform have paid the ultimate sacrifice. This nation will always be grateful for that sacrifice, and we will always remember it. And also, 20,585 have been wounded. But since President Trump has been President of the United States, fortunately, we still too high a number, but only 52 American men and women in uniform have died. Compared to thousands before, this is a tribute to our joint partnership and to the sacrifice that the Afghan soldiers, your brothers and sisters in uniform, are making. More than 1 million Americans have served here in uniform. We pay tribute to their families and to your families. I would like a special request. Please thank your families for agreeing to miss you at this special occasion at home and for being here defending United States security and our freedom. Together, we will succeed. We will never forget that 9/11 brought us, and we will never permit the repetition of 9/11 again. God bless you. God bless the President.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Would you like to stay here, or would you like to go? No, right up here. Please. Thank you. Well, thank you very much, Mr. President. 52 compared to thousands, and we're doing a tremendous job. And as you know, a big part of that job is ISIS, certainly the biggest, and Al-Qaeda, and we've got them down very low numbers. We'll have that totally taken care of in a very short period of time, and we'll see what happens The Taliban wants to make a deal. We'll see if they want to make a deal. It's got to be a real deal, but we'll see. But they want to make a deal. And they only want to make a deal because you're doing a great job. That's the only reason they want to make a deal. So I want to thank you, and I want to thank the Afghan soldiers for really, I've spoken to a lot of you today, and you say they're really fighting hard. I was very impressed with that, actually, so I want to thank you. And General Milley, again, to be at Bagram Airfield, I've heard so much about. It's an incredible place. This is some airfield, some fortress. I want to thank all of the Afghanistani troops. We have a lot of them here, actually. We have a number of them standing around, saying hello and waving, and we appreciate it. And I also say to you, just at ease, let's just enjoy ourselves for a couple of minutes. I'm going to introduce a few people. But there's nowhere I'd rather celebrate this Thanksgiving than right here with the toughest, strongest, best and bravest warriors on the face of the earth. You are indeed that. You know, when I took office, if you can believe it, almost 3 years ago, we were very depleted. Our military was depleted in terms of equipment. You see, right? They were all shaking their heads. That's right. We have all those brand new planes and brand new helicopters and brand new ships being built now, brand new incredible submarines. Probably the most powerful submarines, probably the most powerful weapon in the world is what we're building, the form of submarines. Nothing's even close. But we have things that nobody's seen, nobody's heard about, and we'll keep it that way. But we've spent $2.5 trillion, very close to that number, and very shortly it'll be at $2.5 trillion. And while I don't love that, you know, what that does to my budget, because I'm a budget person, we don't have a strong military. Budgets don't matter much, do they? Huh? Not going to have to worry about budgets. So with what's going on in the world today, very important. $2.5 trillion. And nobody beats our great Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, Marines. And we think soon we're going to be adding a thing called space. You know about that, right? Space. We're going to have space covered very well. We're covering it now, but we have to cover it to a much greater extent. And you'll be hearing about that in the coming days and weeks. I've just come from serving Thanksgiving dinner to some of you. I recognize already some of you in the audience, and with General Milley and the folks. And we had a good time. I then got down, I sat down, I had a gorgeous piece of turkey, and I was all set to go, and I had some of the mashed potatoes, and I had a bite of mashed potatoes. And I never got to the turkey because General Milley said, "Come on over, sir, let's take some pictures." I never got to my turkey. It's the first time in Thanksgiving that I've never had anything called turkey, but that's okay. But it looked awfully good, I have to tell you that. I should have started with that instead of the mashed potatoes. I made a mistake. But I hope everyone enjoyed the fantastic meal. It certainly did look good, and hopefully everyone can get some well-deserved rest this holiday. Your family, they're home, and they love you so much. We flew 8,331 miles to be here tonight for one simple reason: to tell you in person that this Thanksgiving is a special Thanksgiving. We're doing so well. Our country is the strongest economically it's ever been. We have never done so well. We have the greatest economy anywhere in the world. So it's nice to know that you're fighting for something that is doing well as opposed to something that was not doing well just a number of years ago. Our stock markets reached the highest level ever in the history of the exchanges, all three. If you look, all three. It's incredible. It's incredible what's happening. It just broke a record. I think it's close to 130 days, so we're less than 3 years. And 130 times we've broken the all-time record. And to me, that doesn't mean an all-time record. It means something different. It means jobs. It means 401ks. People come up to me with their 401ks. They say, "Sir, you've made me look like a genius. Thank you very much." You know, they're up 78%. They feel good. So I would just want to say that we thank God for your health and all of the things that you've done. You are very special people, and you don't even know how much the people of our country love and respect you, and they do. That's why I'm here. I'm just bringing the message. The courageous American warriors in Afghanistan and across the region are leading the fight to vanquish America's enemies and defeat forces of radical Islamic terrorism. I would say it so often during the campaign. That's what we're doing. Together, we're making tremendous progress. Just a few weeks ago, as you know, and as President Ghani mentioned, U.S. Special Forces brought the world's #1 most wanted terrorist to justice. When the president said more important than Osama bin Laden, I would say that, look, different in a way. He was an organizer. Al-Baghdadi was an organizer. He was the founder of ISIS. He was the father, if you want to call him that, of ISIS. I think he wasn't so happy 3 weeks ago when he saw those incredible 67 men, in that case, just come pouring down onto where he was staying, and that didn't work out too good. And we have a new national hero. You know who that is, right? Conan. Conan is our new great hero. And Conan was at the White House the other day. You might have seen it. And it was something. But the animal known as al-Baghdadi, the founder, the leader of ISIS, the man that was trying to reinstitute ISIS, because we have 100% of the ISIS caliphate in Syria is now ours. He is dead. His second is dead. His third, we have the sights on the third. I think the third doesn't want the job. The third is saying, you know what, maybe I'll go work at a store or something. But Baghdadi was a savage and soulless monster who raped, tortured, and slaughtered the innocent, including many, many Americans. When you saw those folks, those great people in the orange jumpsuits, oftentimes standing on a beach with a thug behind him and a big knife, that was all al-Baghdadi, but he's gone. The American warriors hunted him down, they executed a masterful raid, and they punched his ticket to hell. That's what happened. Shortly after we got Baghdadi, we focused on some other elements in the area, and we also started leaving the area because it's secure, but we didn't leave it totally. We kept the oil. Makes sense, right? I've been saying for a long time, keep the oil. Hate to say it. I used to say it with a place called Iraq, too. Keep the oil. They didn't listen to me. I was a civilian. They didn't listen. Now they have to listen. But we kept the oil. And we kept it, and we can help the Kurds. We can help our partners. We can have it developed. It's where they got their wealth. That's where they got their money. We kept it. So we'll go back in when we have to as it arises, but 100%. We have thousands of prisoners. We'd like Europe to take those prisoners. They have not stepped up to the plate at all. Many come from France. Many come from Germany. They come from different countries in Europe. They have not stepped up to the plate. That's not good. We have to talk to them, John, because they should be taking those people back and trying them. And if we didn't do it, they'd go back to France, and they'd go back to Germany and to UK and to all of the places where they came. That's where they want to go back, and they should take them. Weeks ago, we also announced that the forces are coming back. They're coming back home. We're reducing over here, but because of technology and all of the things that we have, we're able to reduce in Afghanistan, very substantially actually reduce, and do even more devastating attacks on the enemy. So that's part of the $2.5 trillion that we have coming. Finest equipment in the world. We build the greatest equipment anywhere in the world by far. And we're selling that equipment now to many, many countries that are our allies. The enemies, we decide usually not to do it. History has said, don't sell the good equipment to the enemy. Our message to the bloodthirsty terrorists is clear. You will not escape your wretched fate, because the long reach and the really awesome power of the United States military is unstoppable. We have the most powerful military in the world by far. There's nobody close, and we're going to keep it that way. We're going to keep it that way. This evening, as millions of families sit down at their dinner tables back home, they'll be saying a prayer for the men and women serving our nation in Afghanistan and deployed all around the globe. Great men and women all around the globe. Many are coming home. Our citizens know that you're standing guard, killing terrorists, crushing our enemies, and keeping America safe, really safe. But you're also keeping it strong and proud and mighty and free. And I'm here today to just really say happy Thanksgiving, but also thank you very much. Great job. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Appreciate it. Very much appreciate it. As president, I have no higher honor than to serve as commander-in-chief of the United States military, the greatest force for peace and justice in the history of the world. This evening, I also want to express the profound and heartfelt gratitude of the entire American nation for our amazing military families, because they really do make you what you are when you think of it. Anybody here disagree with that? Raise your hand, please. Nobody has the courage to raise your hand. You have a lot of courage, but not that kind of courage, right? No, but it's true. The families, they make you great. The extraordinary commitment and the sacrifice of your loved ones make it possible for all of our families to live in safety and to live in peace. I especially want to recognize several of the incredible patriots with us tonight. These are great fighters, great warriors, great people, great men and women. You've already met Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. It was my honor to appoint him. I had no doubt from the day I met him very early on, and I said, I like that man. He's a tough cookie and he's smart. You know, he went to Princeton. I said, I don't know. I didn't know he was an academic, and he went to Columbia. I'm not sure, was that a good thing or bad? I don't know. Did I like it or not? I was sort of, but that's pretty good. That means he's an academic. That means he's a smart cookie, and he is a smart, and he's a tough one. General Mark Milley. Thank you, General. Thank you, General. He's an academic. I can't believe it. He's a great gentleman. Commander of the Resolute Support in U.S. Forces, Afghanistan, General Scotty Miller. He's done an incredible job. Thank you, Scotty. Thank you, Scotty. Incredible job. And I hope the word gets out, and I hope the press, which is right back here, they traveled with us, I hope they're able to get the word out as to what Scotty and all of the folks have done with respect to ISIS and with respect to Al-Qaeda. He said they don't want to fight us, sir. They don't want to fight us. But, you know, what we've done over the last 12 months, 6 months and 12 months, but over the last 12 months has been incredible. And I hope that the media is able to tell our families, tell our friends, tell our citizens, tell the people of the United States the success that we've had. Because people don't read about that. They don't read about it. Commander of Bagram Airfield, Brigadier General Brian Wolford. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian. Great, Brian. Commander of the 455th Air Expeditionary Wing, Brigadier General Scott Jobe. Thank you. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Scott. Commander of Area Support Group, Afghanistan, Colonel David Raw. Thank you, David. Good job, David. Thank you. U.S. Forces, Afghanistan, Chief of Staff, Colonel Chip Daniels. Chip, thank you. And let's not forget our senior enlisted officers, senior enlisted advisor to the chairman, Command Sergeant Major John Wayne Troxell. John Wayne. Thank you, John. Thank you. Command Senior Enlisted Leader of U.S. Forces, Afghanistan, Command Sergeant Major Timothy Matheny. Timothy, thank you. Thanks, Timothy. Senior Enlisted Leader of Bagram Airfield, Sergeant Major Jason Huckabee. Jason, thank you. Thank you, Jason. and Chief Master Sergeant David Dixon of the 455th Air Expeditionary Wing. Where is he?
This right here is why I respect the 45th and now the 47th President of the United States. He takes these things very seriously and personal because he's naming their names, he's thanking them. Before this, we saw a video when he was on the phone and it was actually, talking to them, talking about the equipment, talking about how trade is going over there, how the troops are doing, how they're faring. He really cares. I get it. There are things that you don't agree with Trump. Maybe the way he goes on the internet, on social media and stuff, or the way he talks. You would never meet anybody that you would say you agree with 100%. You would never meet anybody that you agree with 100%. However, he has more good than bad. In my opinion, this is just my belief, okay? You can have different beliefs. But he has more good than bad. Because I've never met anybody that I 100% agreed with. Because that's just like, what, Jesus Christ? I can never agree with you 100%. However, he has more good than bad, and that's just the case.
Chief Master David Dixon, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. David Dixon. Also with us, our National Security Advisor, Robert O'Brien, doing a great job. Ambassador John Bass. And I introduced already one of the great, great patriots of our country, John Barrasso of Wyoming. Great state, Wyoming. Thank you, John. With the help and the devotion everyone has given here tonight, America is winning again. We are winning like we have not won in a long time. And you know what? We're respected like we haven't been respected in a long time. America is winning again, and America is respected again, and respected at the highest level. We're investing so much money in our military, and we're not going to stop until it's totally rebuilt and complete. Along with a record investment in our military, we've also got your largest pay raise in over 10 years. And I'm very pleased to report that starting January 1st, you will be receiving another 3.1% pay raise. And if anybody doesn't want it, if anybody doesn't want it, just sign up at the door and we'll take it away, okay? Make it a contribution. Here in the region, we're boldly confronting America's adversaries and pursuing a foreign policy focused squarely on our national interests. Less than 3 years ago, ISIS controlled the vast reaches of territory in Iraq and Syria. Today, the U.S. Armed Forces and our allies have totally obliterated ISIS and its caliphate. And, I was going to leave. We were down to 98%. And I have to say this, when I came in, again, less than 3 years ago, it was a mess. They were all over the place. And I was about set. We'll leave now. We're at 97, 98%. And I got a lot of bite back from people that frankly would have been very happy to leave if it was anybody else but me. They said, why don't you finish the job? These are people that would have loved. But you know what? I said, maybe they're right. And we finished the job. We did it very, very quickly and very surgically. So that job is finished. We liberated more than 3 million civilians from that brutal reign. I've also taken action to confront the corrupt and terror-supporting dictatorship in Iran. And in Afghanistan, our warfighters continue to serve heroically to stamp out terrorism and to eviscerate the enemies of civilization, because that's what really they are. They're enemies of civilization. Right here at Bagram, your logistical hub for all forces in Afghanistan, you are absolutely essential to victory. From this base, the unrivaled aviators of the U.S. Air Force deliver unmatched firepower across the region. When our enemies hear the sound of your jets, those brand new, beautiful jets, they hear the sound of those jets. We don't put too many environmental controls on those jets. Because if it takes away 4% of what we need, we want the 4%. Do you agree with that, everybody? Is everybody? And we're all environmental. But we're not heavy into environmental controls and even pollution controls on our aircraft when it's a fighting jet. We don't want to have any excuses. But when our enemies hear the sound of those screaming engines through the valleys, their terrorist blood runs cold because they know that their demise is near. In particular, I want to thank outstanding airmen from the 455th Air Expeditionary Wing who deliver righteous America thunder anywhere, any place, anytime. Raise your hands. Let me see. Great job. Helps to have new equipment, doesn't it? Does it help a little bit? You got nice new equipment. Thanks as well to the skilled professionals of the Expeditionary Medical Group who run the most capable trauma hospital in Afghanistan. Craig Joint Theater Hospital, thank you very much. Great job you do. Nobody, I'll tell you what, there's a little phrase that I hear, nobody dies today, they live to fight another day. You've done a fantastic job. And I'm told that not long ago, a critically injured soldier was brought here in need of multiple blood transfusions. Within 15 minutes, more than 100 members of Bagram, the community, the base, showed up to give their blood. That says everything you need to know about the men and women who serve here. Thank you very much. It was incredible. They needed it fast, and they got it. They got it. Every day, the fierce soldiers of the U.S. Army are carrying out harrowing missions across this land. The Army marches bravely into danger, traverses perilous terrain, and pumps stunning firepower straight into the face of evil. In particular, I want to thank the men and women of the 10th Combat Aviation Brigade who operate rotary, I know what rotary is, right? Rotary wing aircraft across Afghanistan and fly magnificent Apaches like the one right next to me. That is magnificent. And I was just at Dover, because you had a terrible accident a week ago of two of your incredible people. And I greeted them as they came in on a very big plane, and I greeted their families. I heard they were fantastic people. So thank you very much for that. I know a lot of you asked about them. Their families are doing fine, but that was a rough night for them. I will tell you, it's a rough night for me. It's a rough night for everybody. Thanks also to the 1st Armored Division's Resolute Support Sustainment Brigade for supplying our forces. The brigade is incredible, so respected by everybody, keeping our military in top fighting shape. You are iron soldiers, they say. Iron soldiers. You think so? Yeah, right? I think so. And among those in RSSB are two sisters, Master Sergeant Elena Gallardo and Captain Carla Gallardo. And I don't know, where are you? Where are you two sisters? Where are they? They're here someplace. Come here. Come here. Come. Have you ever spoken publicly? Yes. Give it a she said yes. That's pretty. Please say something, please.
Hello, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you both. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you both very much. I know that Senator Barrasso is very proud of the fact that Wyoming's National Guard is here at Bagram. Oh, you got them, huh? Where are they? Come here. Come here. Say a few words. Oh, yeah. Good place.
Powder River. Letterbuck.
These people are all action, no talk. But I just want to thank you for being here. And the Alpha Battery 2nd of the 300th Field Artillery Battalion, thank you very much. Your First Lieutenant Ira Weimer and First Sergeant Michael Clancy, I want to thank you very much for doing such a great job in leading the unit. Let me also recognize the terrific service members from Area Support Group Afghanistan, JTF, Parwan, Task Force, Cobalt, our Theater Reaction Force, Fury, Task Force Griffin, Task Force Hellhound EOD. Where are you? Task Force Loyalty. I like that. I like that. Task Force Hickey No. Hickey No. Where are you, Hickey No? That's great. Warfighters, keep up the great work. Really keep up the great work. That's fantastic. And we're glad we could mention most of you. I know we left somebody out. Did we leave anybody out? I agree. Who else? Together, we're all very proud of the part the most feared and lethal fighting force ever assembled has played toward peace. America's military dominates the sky. Nobody can dominate the sky like we do. We have the new F-35s coming out, stealth, and even super stealth. It's hard for the enemy because there's one problem they have. You can't see the planes. It's always tough to fight a plane when you can't see it. But America's military dominates the sky. You dominate the sea. You dominate the land. You dominate space. You will not be deterred, and you will never, ever be defeated. The United States never seeks war. We seek peace wherever peace can be found. We want peace. We do want peace. I want peace more than anybody. You know, they said when I was elected, oh, we'll be in a war in the first day, right? Remember that? No. But when we do, and if we do, and I hope we never do, we will win. We're going to fight to win. We only fight to win. We only fight to win. But if we are forced, we will avenge the enemy with overwhelming power, and we will win. Like the old days we won, then we went where we sort of played for ties, but we don't play for ties anymore. We don't do the tie thing anymore. Is that okay with you folks? Is that all right? Victory on the battlefield will always belong to you, the American warrior. In the long run, of course, the future of Afghanistan and nations across this region will not be decided on the battlefield. Ultimately, there will be need to be a political solution, and we're working with the president and we're working with a lot of people right now on a political solution decided by the people of the region themselves. But rest assured that my administration will always be committed to annihilating terrorists wherever they appear, because we don't want them in our country. We're going to tell them, get the hell out, and we're doing it all the time. Get them out. And we will continue to work tirelessly for the day when we can bring each and every one of you home and safe to your family, and that day is coming very soon. In the 18 years since the attacks of September 11th, thousands of American patriots have left their everyday lives and cherished loved ones, put on their uniforms and flown here to Afghanistan. Some of our brave warriors have made the ultimate sacrifice. We honor their memory today, and we will always honor their memory. Like all of them, each of you came to do your duty. You came to defend American liberty. You came because our nation needed you, and they needed you right here. The men and women of our military are totally loyal to our country, and every day I am president, America will always be totally loyal to you. I just want to finish by saying that with your courage, we will continue to pursue America's enemies to the ends of the earth, greatest in the world. We will chase them down. We will get the terrorists. We will break their will. We will not give them rest. No break and no way out. They won't have a chance. As long as America's soldiers, sailors, airmen, Coast Guardsmen, and Marines are on the mission, our nation's adversaries do not have even a small hope of victory. Together, we will preserve our freedom. We will protect our homeland. And we will always defend and honor our great American flag. I want to thank you, Bagram Air Base. This is a special place, a place that everybody talks about in our country. What you've done here and what you've built here is powerful. And I just want to say next year we'll be having Thanksgiving together. It may be back in the United States because you've done so much work here and you've done it well. God bless you. God bless our great country. God bless everybody in this room. Be safe. I will see you very soon. We will be back. We'll be back, and we are coming back as a country like nobody has ever seen. When I'm greeted, and I'm often greeted by leaders of the world, they start off by saying two things. Congratulations on what you've done with your country from an economic standpoint. We've never seen anything like it. And sir, congratulations on rebuilding your military, and that's what we've done. God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you for tuning in to the live show. You know what time it is. It is your boy Genesis. God bless you to the moderators, Mr. Booski, Average Joe. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. And everybody watching the live show. You know what time it is. Uh, um, the gorgeous BDZ 29. God bless you, BDZ 29. Trixie, you know what time it is, brother. Melvin Drew, and everybody who's watching and maybe not commenting. It is what it is. Bless you guys. Happy Thanksgiving again. Happy Thanksgiving again. Instead of looking for perfection, seek for consistency. Never give up on your dream. Never give up on God. Never give up on yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in your dreams and believe in God. This was supposed to be like a 1 hour stream, but we did a 2 hour, 6 minute stream. So guys, hope you have a wonderful night. Don't forget to like the live show. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You guys are the best. God bless you. Bless you. Bless you. And I'm praying for you. I'm rooting for you. I believe in you. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're going through as a family, God is with you. God is with you. Okay. Everybody's going through one or two things. Okay. Everybody's going through things in life. It's not just you. It's not just me. Every single person has that thing that they're going through. And they may not want to share it with you or talk to you about it. However, everybody's going through stuff. So be kind, love one another. Show some love, man. Just show some love. Okay. Be kind and show some love. Okay. It is what it is. And if you can help somebody, help them. Okay. Help them. Don't try to talk them down. If you can motivate someone, motivate them. Don't try to talk them down. So God bless you guys. God bless you guys. God bless you guys. And yeah, I love you guys, man. I love you guys. And something I am thankful for is I am thankful for my family, especially my daughter. I'm thankful for life. I'm thankful for health. I'm thankful for shelter. I'm thankful for food. I'm thankful for the United States of America. I'm also thankful for you guys for always tuning in here and being here, showing some love, staying the course, and just supporting and watching the growth. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I gotta go. It is your boy Genesis one more time. And it is currently 1:27 a.m. Today's date is the 29th of November 2024. Shout out to the veterans in the chat. Shout out to everybody tuning in. And your boy Genesis is